In the age of climate change, the automotive industry is shifting towards more sustainable transportation solutions. Here are the top eco-friendly cars set to launch in 2024. Kia EV9. Early 2024 is when the 2024 Kia EV9 is anticipated to appear. The 2024 Kia EV9 will be built on the EV6's popularity, while being a big brother SUV with 3 rows. Interestingly, there will be 5 different trim options for the EV9, with a starting price of about $55,000. When built with max options, it should have roughly 400 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. If you want the top potent version of this EV, those are not bad numbers for a 3-row family SUV. For Kia, it's crucial to have a family EV in the fleet, as the auto industry embraces electrification more and more. That will be the 2024 Kia EV9. Depending on how the interior is set up, it will most likely have seats for 6 or 7 people as a 3-row SUV. Buick Electra E5. Finally, Buick is also getting into the electric car race with the new Electra E5. Interestingly, this SUV will run on an Ultium battery platform that is designed by General Motors. It may also be similar in specs to the Cadillac Lyriq, but more a budget version. The Electra SUV is expected to have between 350 to 400 horsepower, depending on trims and feature level. The design of the new Buick EV is quite balanced. On the outside, you are getting a good mix of a traditional design and the futuristic style of an electric car. The interior, on the other hand, looks absolutely amazing and unique for the Buick brand. The style, color theme, space, multicolored ambient lighting, and a curved 30-inch infotainment display. This is bound to be a pretty cool SUV for both China and US markets. Hyundai Kona. Hyundai is now prepared to introduce the new crossover generation, which will hit American shores for the 2024 model year. There will be 4 different variants. Unsurprisingly, we are getting an EV version now. Then there is the purely combustion-powered, a hybrid, and the inline. Hyundai's designers first created the new Kona EV before incorporating the design into the other models. They all have a recognizable light bar along the edge of the hood up front. Below this strip, on the corners, are the headlights. The 2024 Hyundai Kona retains both of its 4-cylinder engines from the previous generation. A 147 horsepower 2.0-liter engine will be the base model, with a turbocharged 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine offered as an option. The hybrid drivetrain revealed for the Kona in other regions might also be available. Hyundai Ioniq 5. The 2024 Ioniq 5 is supposed to be a higher voltage version of the 2023 Ioniq 5 that was already pretty good. If you want a vehicle that offers even crazier performance numbers, Hyundai is adding the extra power with its Ioniq 5 N variant. This time, drivers are getting dual electric motors that are tapped to produce around 600 horsepower. Every other thing will also be significantly upgraded as well. Larger wheels, bigger brakes, wider fenders, a more sporty nosepiece, and a larger rear diffuser. This one should be a delight to drive. It's worth mentioning that the 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 5 is getting a massive software update, which is expected to help with customer complaints made in the previous year model. Hyundai is also planning to reveal a smaller variant of this performance EV, but it is not going to be revealed until 2025. Vinfest VF7. The VF7 is Vinfest's response to the Toyota BZ4X, which suggests that it may end up being a possible best fan favorite of Vinfest's electric SUVs. The VF7 should appeal to a wide range of electric SUV buyers because it is compact enough for confined urban environments, but substantially large enough to compete on the open road. Vinfast will be offered in Eco and Plus versions, just like the smaller VF6. 349 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque are anticipated to be produced by the more potent dual-motor all-wheel drive Plus variant. Regarding the front drive, single-motor VF7 Eco, expect the same 201 horsepower and 228 pound-feet of torque, but hopefully something more optimized to offer a little more punch. Details about battery pack capacity and EV system charging are not yet available. The VF7 will be marketed as an upscale electric crossover with options including premium vegan leather upholstery trim and a panoramic sunroof. A front LED light bar with animated effects and rear trademark LED lights are among its exterior features. Each VF7 will also be equipped with various active driver assistance systems. Kia EV5. If you are going to buy a crossover EV SUV, then you may want to wait a little bit for the all-new Kia EV5. This one is bound to be a delight. If Kia's recent press releases are anything to go by, then we can expect great things from the EV5. So far, major specs and numbers are kept a secret, but the overall design direction has Kia fans on a high. It draws most of its inspiration from the earlier announced EV9. And we have to say that this is very well done. From the amazing design on the outside to a very unusual design on the inside as well. The rear hinge doors swing open to reveal a very spacious cabin with seats that turn in different directions. Considering that this is still a concept design and not the final production unit of the vehicle, we do expect a few things to be toned down. But you have to give Kia credit for being so aggressive with EV options you can buy from them. Honda Prologue. While Honda may not have the most popular brand when it comes to electric cars, it does look like they are on the brink of a breakthrough with the 2024 Prologue SUV. The company has revealed what this SUV is like, and not so much info on what it can do on the drive. The only thing we can say for sure is that its platform will be mainly collaborated with General Motors, so expectations are high for this one. Design-wise, the 2024 Honda Prologue already snatches a good grade. You are getting a pretty cool compact SUV that can offer more space than smaller models without the bulk of a big-size SUV. A pretty interesting choice by the Japanese automaker. If you like a minimalist design, the Prologue makes a perfect choice. The concept model so far shows off a great blend of functionality, aesthetics, and simplicity. We cannot wait to see what comes next with about a $45,000 price tag. Mercedes AMG EQE SUV. Mercedes unveiled a fully electric SUV that was the more potent AMG model, giving the 5-seater up to 671 horsepower and 500 kilowatts. The two variants each have their front fascias, while the standard EQE SUV has a closed-off grille with a star motif. AMG's face has vertical accents, with a Pan-Americana grille-inspired appearance. The interiors of the two vehicles are similar, and both come with the brand's optional Hyperscreen display. Mercedes will also provide 4 trim levels for the Mercedes AMG EQE SUV, from the base 350 Plus to the AMG. The rear-wheel drive 350 Plus will have a single motor producing 288 horsepower, or 214 kilowatts, and 417 pound-feet, or 565 newton-meters of torque. Mercedes will sell the 536 horsepower or 392 kilowatt EQE 500 SUV and the dual-motor EQE 350 4MATIC. Customization will allow new Mercedes EQE owners to determine price as well as how long their vehicle can go when fully charged. Fisker Pair. How would you feel if you could buy a really decent electric car from Fisker for around $30,000? Since its announcement last year, Fisker has continued to drop snippets regarding the Fisker Pair. Over 5,000 reservations that have already been made for this budget crossover, which will start at around $30,000, is proof that the teasers are working. With around 250 miles of estimated range, most future Pair owners will probably never need more than that. The anticipation and excitement are as intense as they could ever be. When Fisker Ocean became the highly anticipated Tesla Model Y alternative, we knew that the company could definitely make a smaller-sized EV for much cheaper than Ocean. At the moment, we do know that the design of Fisker Pair is pushing boundaries with its architecture, solar panel roof, and a Houdini trunk. The only hope right now is that Fisker won't raise prices due to supply chain cost spikes, and so on. If Fisker will be able to do it, then millions of new orders are destined to go to Fisker. Polestar 2. 2024 will be a special year for both Polestar as a company and the new upgraded Polestar 2. According to the company newsletter, the Polestar 2 will get an increase in power, range, improved sustainability, and have a rear-wheel drive model optional. The 2024 Polestar 2 will be available in 4 main models: standard range single motor, long range dual motor with performance pack, long range single motor, and long range dual motor. Polestar is increasing the EV's range for 2024. You could be getting as much as 395 miles in some variants. Still, charging rates are stuck at 205 kilowatts. Unfortunately, a little slower than Tesla's supercharging speeds. Cadillac Lyriq. By far one of the most interesting luxury electric SUVs you will ever set your eyes on. The new Lyriq is making a return in 2024 with interesting changes based on customers' feedback. The major update to the Lyriq is the new trim levels. You get a base model tech trim, a mid-range luxury trim, and at the top of the class is the new Sport. The major differences between these trims are more aesthetic than functional. You may be able to go with either and still be just fine. Choreographed exterior lights, illuminated door handles, and rain-sensing wipers are the kind of features you may be missing out on if you go for the base model. Interestingly, range estimates are lower than they were in 2023. Rear-wheel drive will offer about 308 miles, while you get 1 mile less on all-wheel drive at 307 miles. Performance is to be the same with 340 horsepower on the single-motor rear-wheel drive and 500 horsepower on the dual-motor all-wheel drive variant. The 2023 model did not disappoint in performance, especially for a vehicle this size in the SUV class, and we expect more of the same from the new Lyriq. Good news is that the base level still starts at around $59,000. Audi Q6 Etron. The Q6 Etron is Audi's latest all-new electric SUV that is truly a performance and design masterpiece. Audi has been quite busy when it comes to electric vehicles, and it looks like they are taking the fight one step further with the new Q6 e-tron. So far, the design of the test units that have been spotted reveal its unique design language that Audi has built for this particular vehicle. Furthermore, Audi has confirmed that its Q6 e-tron will carry a massive 800-volt electrical system. It will also have 2 design variations, one regular crossover SUV shape and a slope-back version that gives a more sporty vibe. Judging by the number attached to the name, this should be a middle ground from what the Q4 and Q8 e-tron offer. Canoo. The Canoo pickup takes the utility of all pickup trucks to a whole new level with its design. So the attention it has canvassed over the last few years does not come as a surprise at all. Thanks to being an EV, the company has taken full advantage of the pickup size to offer the best space for passengers, cargo, and a ton of bells and whistles. As we draw closer to its projected 2024 availability, there is bound to be more hype in the direction of this truck, and we cannot wait to see how it performs in reality. The range on the Canoo pickup truck is set at around 400 miles, and it's also expected to put out a whopping 600 horsepower. Interestingly, the U.S. Army was also attracted by the setup of the Canoo pickup truck and has already ordered a fleet of modified versions. Moreover, companies like Walmart are interested in a cargo delivery version of the same pickup truck. More orders means the project is still alive, and we should see the final production start very, very soon. GMC Sierra EV. Here is an all-new electric GMC truck that boasts pretty cool numbers in every category. The Sierra EV will be released in a single Most Premium Denali Edition 1 trim. It will be powered by a dual-motor all-wheel drive setup that produces 754 horsepower. GMC confirmed that its Sierra EV will last for a total of 400 miles from a full charge, and its maximum towing capacity is set at 9,500 pounds. Combine these with the stunning exterior and luxury premium interior on the inside, and you'll be paying around $100,000 for the 2024 GMC Sierra EV. Is it worth it? You can decide on it when it comes out very soon. Aphila EV. This joint effort between Honda and Sony looks like it is up for a massive debut with the 2026 Aphila electric car. Aphila's powertrain details will be available later, but we already know how much tech will be going into this unique EV. Do not be fooled by the simple minimalistic design on the outside. This EV will come with about 45 cameras and sensors in different parts of the vehicle that I believe are supposed to aid several features, including self-driving. Yep, autonomous self-driving. Hopefully, we don't have to pay extra money to access the features. I'm also expecting a powerful computer that will run the infotainment system that has been designed in partnership with Epic Games, and driver assistance. Big tech giant Sony working with the traditional auto manufacturer Honda is a match made in heaven. But let's see how it will turn out. Genesis GV70. With everything turning electric in 2024, Genesis has decided to fully electrify its premium V6 engine, GV70 SUV. And many people will probably consider it as their next luxury electric SUV. If you already like how the gas-powered GV70 looks, then you will be happy to know that not a lot has changed in its upcoming electrified version on the exterior. If you don't, well, you may want to look at it again, because this masterpiece SUV stands out from the crowd. Also, you will be glad to know that the mechanical makeup of the electrified GV70 will offer just about the same feel as driving its gas-powered counterpart, which will make it easy for people transitioning from gas to electric. As for specs, you are getting a 77.5 kilowatt battery that should last around 250 to 350 miles of driving on a single charge. Also, with the dual motor all-wheel drive version, you should be packing about 429 horsepower. With the 2024 Genesis GV70 electric, the luxury SUV segment is going to get even more competitive. Dodge Charger. When the next generation Charger goes on sale for the 2024 model year, it will be an entirely new car for the Dodge lineup. A four-door model will also be added to the roster, but we will learn more about either vehicle closer to its debut. There will most likely be more trim levels for the 2024 Charger, but we only know of 3 for now. The number of engines that will power the various trims of the new Charger is still to be disclosed by Dodge. But the base 340 model is expected to produce 455 horsepower, while the mid-range 440 models are expected to produce 590 horsepower. An all-wheel drive 800-volt architecture will be used by a high-performance trim known as SRT Banshee, although the model's horsepower capacity has yet to be disclosed. We also know that the initial prototype employs a multi-speed transmission rather than the traditional EV direct drive system. Strong acceleration also gives the driver the impression of a gear shift. Chrysler Airflow. Chrysler may not be the most consistent car brand in the world, but they are trying to switch up this narrative with an all-new entry. The Airflow EV concept was already revealed, but what we have right now looks like the vehicle that is closer to the production model. The Airflow will have the option of dual motors fitted on the front and rear wheels. Each of these motors will have about 201 horsepower. This already sounds exciting, and I look forward to seeing how Chrysler optimizes the drive to get the best out of these powerful electric motors. The brand has already mentioned that this SUV is getting a 118 kilowatt-hour battery pack that gets you around 400 miles of range, which is a pretty good number and also in the range of some of the longest-lasting EVs already on the market. There are a ton of futuristic features to the interior features of this Airflow, and if they are able to get anywhere close to this concept model, we have got an almost sci-fi looking EV on our hands. Acura ZDX. This is clearly Acura's major attempt to join the EV movement. However, expectations are already high for the 2024 Acura ZDX. There has been some chatter about the 2024 ZDX sharing the same platform with the Cadillac Lyriq. While that might come as a shock, it should not distract you from the bigger picture. The Cadillac Lyriq is a pretty amazing ride, and if that is anything to go by, then we may be getting the 2024 ZDX with around 500 horsepower at its most powerful stage. Acura has not yet stated what the battery capacity will be. Nevertheless, the 2024 Acura ZDX may be getting the same 102 kilowatt-hour battery from the Lyriq. So we are also looking forward to a range in the 300 mile per charge region. The 2024 ZDX is expected to retail at about $60,000 to $70,000 for its base model, and we are looking forward to how that turns out in production. Cadillac Solstice. For many years, Cadillac has struggled to compete with European luxury brands. Still, it has persevered. as seen by the release of its new electric flagship, the new 2024 Celestiq luxury sedan. Although this stunning vehicle resembles the new Lyriq EV SUV in terms of family resemblance, it stands out thanks to its slender lines, sweeping roof, and bustling rear end. The designers at Cadillac claim to have combined historical design cues with cutting-edge technologies that forecast the future course of the American luxury brand. The interior decor is equally dramatic as the exterior, and the cabin dazzles with vividly colored leather, a 55-inch digital dashboard, and bucket seats designed in the Hermes style. A small group of artisans will hand-build each Celestiq as the line assembles them. According to the EPA, the Ultium battery pack that powers the Celestiq is big enough to provide around 300 miles of driving range per charge. According to Cadillac, the 200 kilowatt connection will give the battery a range of 78 miles in just 10 minutes. Porsche Macan EV. Porsche's 2024 electrification initiatives are getting even more aggressive after the launch of the Macan EV. Before the new crossover makes its official appearance, Porsche will make the performance rear axle available with the Macan EV, depending on the model when it goes on sale. The 2-valve shock absorbers for the Porsche Active suspension management system are one of the new features of the Macan EV. They are available with steel or air suspensions, independently adjustable, and will provide better damper characteristics. The front and rear tires will have different widths. To enable the rear-biased weight distribution, and wheel sizes will go up to 22 inches. The new data aids in giving the Macan EV a complete picture. In its most powerful configuration, the crossover will have up to 603 horsepower and more than 738 pound-feet of torque. In addition, it will have the technology, features, and suspension needed to harness all this power. Hyundai Ioniq 7. The 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 7, an all-electric SUV resembling the 3-row Hyundai Palisade, is the new electric car Hyundai plans to use as a trigger for deep market penetration. This vehicle will have a seating capacity of 7 or 8. The Hyundai Ioniq 7 model is one of the 3 new electric vehicles the company has already committed to releasing in the following years. There is no official word on the vehicle's release, although 3 trim levels might be anticipated. Because the company is concentrating on producing a vehicle that has a driving range of 300 miles minimum, it is anticipated that this vehicle will feature a huge usable capacity battery, and a 350 kilowatt fast charger will be included. Pretty decent performance, but for a much cheaper price. Jeep Recon EV. This Jeep is unique in the new lineup. The impending 2024 Jeep Recon EV is coming to crawl rocks, to say it exactly. Electric vehicles have impacted nearly every market, zapping into classes of vehicles like full-size pickup trucks, station wagons, luxury SUVs, and now this. The 4-wheel drive Recon EV is a fully electric midsize SUV with a power-folding rooftop and easily detachable doors inspired by the Wrangler 4xe plug-in hybrid. Initial renderings show a spare tire mounted on the tailgate, the LED 7-slot front grille, the beefy BF Goodrich rubber, and the seats for up to 5 people on top of rubberized flooring can all be seen in initial renders. As one of the 2 new electric models to the Jeep portfolio, the Recon EV will join the impending Wagoneer EV. We anticipate the Jeep Recon EV to be about the same size as the current Jeep Wrangler or 2-row Grand Cherokee because it belongs to the midsize SUV class. According to Jeep, the Recon EV production will be scheduled to begin sometime in 2024. Volkswagen ID Buzz. While there are tons of big and small EVs on the market, the one department that seems to be getting the least attention is the large families that would like to quit gas. On that note, Volkswagen has decided to fill the gap with the 2024 Volkswagen ID Buzz. Grabbing inspiration from the older Type 2 microbus, this offers a nostalgic, vintage vibe on the outside, while hosting massive space on the inside with free-for-all seating in 3 rows. This fully electric van will come in both all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive options. The brand is currently aiming to get the 2024 ID Buzz to as high as 260 miles of range. The base-level single-motor rear-wheel drive ID Buzz will produce about 201 horsepower, As for the higher dual-motor trim with all-wheel drive, you should get as high as 295 horsepower. As long as Volkswagen can pull these numbers off, this would be an amazing accomplishment for a vehicle of this size. Lincoln Star. As usual, Lincoln is presenting one of the best-looking SUV designs you will ever see, but this time it is fully electric. The jaw-dropping new electric SUV called Lincoln Star is designed as a futuristic self-driving SUV with fully electric dashboard and infotainment screens. Apart from the fact that it looks like an SUV that was imported from outer space on the outside, the interior concept is about as amazing as it can get. From the full-width display that covers the dashboard to the well-carved front seat and bucket seats at the back. There may also be an expensive beverage chiller, crystal touches, and trim pieces in rose gold. While there is a high chance that a lot of these may be excluded from the production unit, it would be great to see what will be left in it. The Lincoln Star is expected to arrive in 2024 as a 2025 model, and we already know that it will be available in the options of either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive with an estimated price tag of $70,000. Ram 1500 REV. After getting rumored and teased for nearly a year, we finally know what Ram's incoming EV truck will look like on the US roads. While the newly revealed production version of the Ram 1500 REV is not as imposing as its initial concept reveals, it still comes with the futuristic aesthetic that seems to be customary with EVs. For Ram drivers who would not want to go too far from what they are already used to, the good news is that it still looks like a good old Ram truck, just electric. The promised 500 miles of range will make the Ram EV truck the longest range pickup truck with a battery. One downside here is that a toned-down design also means that a lot of the features that came with the outlandish concept design may also be getting ripped. Ram is keeping most of the important information regarding the 1500 REV as exclusive as possible, and it may remain that way for a couple more weeks or months. All I can confirm right now is that the design still gets a trunk in the front, similar to its rival electric pickup trucks. Mercedes-Benz EQG. The Mercedes-Benz G-Class developed a reputation as an altering vehicle over several decades before becoming a six-figure prestige symbol for celebrities. Now that gas-powered vehicles are becoming less popular, the G-Class is giving birth to the all-electric EQG. The EQG maintains the traditional G-Class boxy design, and Mercedes claims it will continue to be a capable all-terrain vehicle. One electric motor is anticipated to be installed in each wheel of the 2024 Mercedes EQG, and the battery pack will be integrated within a sturdy, vintage ladder frame. 4 individually controllable electric motors, one near each wheel, are expected to power the EQG, enhancing both on- and off-road driving capability. If the design is any indication, the EQG will also include a 2-speed gearbox that can be switched between for off-roading. Like the gas-powered G-Wagon, the EQG will have a stiff rear axle and a sophisticated independent front suspension that should improve on-road handling. This vehicle is already hard to find, so imagine trying to get your hands on an electric EQG now. Genesis GV90. Taking the luxury EV SUV conversation to a whole new level is the new 2024 Genesis GV90. It is the brand's first attempt at a 3-row electric SUV, and it is said to be their flagship SUV. Genesis has always been great with its design appeal, and all that inspiration will also be transported to the GV90, so hopes are high. At the moment, we know that the GV90 will share the same powertrain as the upcoming Kia EV9 and Hyundai Ioniq 7. This should produce impressive results on the step of the pedal, as well as an impressive range of around 300 miles on a single charge minimum. Genesis will also benefit from a 350 kilowatt fast charging infrastructure of Hyundai Motor Group, just like the 2 other brands, Kia and Hyundai. Most importantly, Genesis promises to keep the luxury standards throughout the interior and exterior of this 3-row SUV. Maserati Grecale Folgore. With the 2024 Grecale Folgore, an electric version of its new Grecale SUV, Maserati is revitalizing its lineup. Given that the Italian word Folgore means lightning, we anticipate this EV crossover to bolt from rest. It promises to have that ability. The Italian automaker will achieve its goal of electrifying its car and SUV options, as the Grecale Folgore will join the Gran Turismo Folgore sports car. With a few notable exceptions, like a distinctive grille treatment and beautiful Folgore-specific wheel designs, the Grecale Folgore's attractive exterior style is a close replica of the gasoline-powered counterpart. The Folgore's propulsion system still lacks details, although Maserati has promised a large 105 kWh battery pack, which should offer a highly competitive driving range. However, whether this figure refers to total or usable capacity needs to be clarified. Maserati has stated that the Grecale Folgore's powertrain will produce up to 590 pound-feet of torque. That electric drivetrain should offer quick acceleration, allowing it to compete with big players like the Tesla Model X. Land Rover Range Rover EV. With Land Rover's brand new chassis that can accommodate gas, plug-in hybrid, or electric propulsion, the company's flagship EV model now makes an evolutionary leap into the completely electric era. A luxury SUV that is also electric is expected to bring out the best of the Range Rover's unique and recognizable design reputation. Battery range, power, and pricing are among the crucial characteristics that are important, but we anticipate the Range Rover EV to maintain the plushness and strong off-road prowess that have come to represent the brand since it was introduced in the United States in 1987. An all-new chassis and new full electric powertrain will be used in the 2024 Range Rover EV. The electric vehicle will be built on the long wheelbase variant, which should allow for 3 rows of seating. Just like the current gas-powered Range Rover, a new multi-link suspension design frees up more space for the EV's battery and rear-wheel steering system by reducing the amount of room required for wheel articulation. BMW i5. The new 2024 BMW i5 may possibly be the most versatile vehicle that BMW has ever designed. While it will be fully electric, the German car brand has designed the structure of the powertrain to fit any condition. Whether they decide to build a plug-in hybrid version or do a fully gasoline or diesel setup, they could easily fit it into the same structure. According to BMW, they intend to have the 2024 i5 be a car that can work in any condition, lifestyle, and consumer preference. The 5 Series has always been one of BMW's most popular lines, so the intention is to give consumers something new to gush over. We do expect great things from this one, as BMW has a pretty strong record to go by. The official launch of this new series is set to be sometime in 2024, and we expect the all-new BMW i5 to match or exceed its direct rival, Mercedes-Benz EQE. Chevrolet Silverado EV. A worthy addition to Chevrolet's new electrified lineup is Silverado EV. A midgate design option allows users to fold the partition between the bed and the cab for added storage space. A big battery pack is believed to have a range of up to 400 miles on a single charge, and a battery with a range of 100 miles may be charged in just 10 minutes using DC fast charging technology. The 2024 Chevrolet Silverado EV can tow up to 10,000 pounds and handle loads weighing up to 1,300 pounds thanks to dual electric motors that produce up to 664 horsepower and provide standard all-wheel drive. The Silverado EV will only have 2 electric motors compared to the GMC Hummer EV's 3 electric motors. The configuration should still deliver strong acceleration performance, as Chevrolet claims that the top-spec RST has at least 664 horsepower, while the base WT model manages with 510. Both all-wheel drive and 4-wheel steering are standard. Customers who choose the RST model will discover that their vehicle has adjustable air suspension. Nevertheless, a pair of enormous, stylish 24-inch wheels are optional. Locking differentials, substantial all-terrain tires, and other adventure-ready components will be added to the Silverado EV's suspension in the Trail Boss Edition. The maximum towing capacity of the Silverado EV at launch will be 10,000 pounds for the RST variant and 8,000 pounds for the WT. According to Chevrolet, a variant with a 20,000 pound towing capacity may soon be added to the list later on. Jeep Wagoneer EV. The all-electric 2024 Wagoneer will be one of 2 electric SUVs offered in the North American market. we are getting a possible range of 400 miles per charge, a 600 horsepower output, allowing the electrified SUV to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 3.5 seconds. The launch of the Jeep Wagoneer EV marks a significant turning point for the off-road brand, which anticipates that by 2030, EV sales will account for 50% of total sales in the United States. Despite being Jeep's first fully electric vehicle, the 2024 Wagoneer EV will take design cues from the company's current gasoline-powered vehicles and combine them with EV-like elements like a grille that lights up. The Wagoneer EV has a futuristic appearance thanks to this fusion of contemporary and classic style features while still looking like a Jeep. Dios Vienne. Let's now turn the heat up a little with a practical electric hypercar, the Dios Vienne. It is just about as impressive as it gets. From design to its performance specs, this is one hypercar that will surely make a statement before and after release. The curvy and subtle design features that it carries gives the Vienne a very futuristic energy. Completely designed by one of the best car designers in the world, Ital Design, the hypercar is so cool and sexy. Additionally, when Williams Advanced Engineering does bring their Formula E expertise to build this hypercar, you know something big is cooking at the Dios Labs. So much so that the Vienne looks as if it could fly, and that may not be too far from possible with its proposed 2,200 horsepower powertrain. The estimated 1,475 pound-feet of torque will get this car from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 1.99 seconds. Now, that is a hypercar that lives up to the name. Mini Countryman. The largest Mini by size in existence is getting a new upgrade in 2024, and Mini fans are in for a ride. Design-wise, it is unsurprising that the new Countryman maintains Mini's unique design language that faithful fans have come to know and love. Under the hood, however, Mini is making provisions for both drivers that want to cut their carbon footprint by driving electric and those that would prefer to stick to gas. And both powertrains are quite impressive. The electric Countryman will come with a dual motor setup and a 64.7 kilowatt-hour battery pack to put out 308 horsepower and a range of 230 miles. In the small EV SUV class, these are quite competitive numbers, and it would be nice to see how it performs in reality. The gas-powered variant, on the other hand, edges in front with its turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine producing 241 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, which is quite impressive with most small SUVs in the market.